there. Welcome back to the Laugh Pig Kitchen, where we've been doing lots of quarantine cuisine and the such. We're going to do a little bit of that later on as it gets closer to evening meal time. But we're doing a little bit of homesteading today, which we do all the time, but a whole lot of people seem to be taking up the hobby since they've got time on their hands and learning to be more self-sufficient around their home, which is an awesome thing. And one thing that we self-sustaining homesteaders really find valuable is having clean water, access to clean water all the time. You know, you hear about people buying water at the store and stuff, but it's really awesome to have your own way to purify water just in case things get crazy. So much of this pandemic and quarantine stuff takes me back to 1989, September 1989, when Hurricane Hugo pretty much destroyed Charleston, and I was there in the big middle of that. And for about 2 weeks, we were doing some serious self-sustaining and homesteading, and we didn't have clean water. You know, and that was one thing that we were not able to prepare for, is we had water, but it was not clean water. We had to boil it, or you had to process it. And interestingly enough, for about a month and a half in Charleston after the hurricane, because it knocked down all of the pine trees that were surrounding the big reservoir where we got our city water. And so even when we were able to drink the water again, our city water tasted like pine for a really long time, smelled a little like pine sol. So I don't miss that, and I really appreciate having a source of clean water today. And here's what we're doing with it today is we have a Berkey. This is called a big Berkey, and it goes together like that, and you put your water, your tap water or whatever, in the top, and it comes out as clean water in the bottom, and we have a little tap to access that. Berkeys are one of the big water filters that the Red Cross uses when they go to disaster areas. You can essentially put pond water, muddy pond water in here, and it will filter it to clean water in the bottom. And it's made in the United States, which is real cool. They're very durable. They're stainless steel. We've had this one for about 5 or 6 years. And the only things you ever have to change in them are the big filters that are inside. And we change them about every year or so and keep them clean in between times. So that's what we're doing today, is changing water filters. And Zoe's about to show you what else we've been doing with homesteading. Come on over. We may have to show you some of this too. We've been making our own masks. We've got scrap fabric, we've got hair elastics, and since the CDC is now asking that most regular old people like us, when we go out in public, to wear a mask to protect ourselves and to protect others around us, we've been making our own, and we're going to make a few more later on to share with some friends and some healthcare workers that sadly their hospitals don't have enough masks for everybody. So we're going to make for everybody that we can with what materials we have. Thank you, dear, for modeling our mask. So I'm going to show you real quick what we're doing with our Berkey. If you can see the 2 big black filters in the top here, these are big black charcoal filters. That's essentially what they are. They're made out of charcoal, and they filter really, really well. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you the box. This is the box that the big black filters come in. And you see all that small print there? That is all stuff that these black filters filter out. They start with viruses at the top. How handy, right? Greater than 99.999% of viruses are filtered out by our black Berkey filters. Pathogenic bacteria, greater than 99.999% on things like anthrax and salmonella. Some pretty nasty ones, E. coli and the such. Pharmaceutical drugs, if there happens to be any of that in your municipal water supply. Things like acetaminophen, erythromycin, ibuprofen, naproxen, progesterone, and many, many more. Caffeine even. Filters caffeine out. Chloroform, bromoform, chloramine, chloride, chlorine. Yeah, we definitely get the chlorine. That's another thing that us homesteaders really like to have clean water for that does not have chlorine in it. We do a lot of fermentation and stuff, and growing microbes of our own, like a sourdough starter and things like that. And when you've got chlorine in your water, well, it's meant to kill microbes. It's meant to purify your water by killing microbes. Well, when you're actually trying to grow microbes in making fermented things like kimchi and kraut and beet kvass and kombucha and kefirs and things like that, we're trying to grow those happy, healthy and beneficial microbes. And so chlorine slows that process down. So the fact that I can filter the chlorine out of our water, awesome. This giant mess right here of small print is all of the pesticides and semi-volatile organic compounds. And things like glyphosate, Roundup, that's one of the big ones that everybody worries about. But lots and lots and lots of words I've never heard of that are pesticides and volatile organic compounds. Heavy metals, it filters heavy metals out for us. Aluminum, antimony, barium, beryllium, bismuth, cadmium, cobalt, lead, mercury, nickel, la 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 la, and keeps going. So lots and lots and lots of stuff that these filters filter out. And I'm actually almost done because I've already installed the new big black filters, and we have primed the filters. Oop, spilling water. Because, you have to prime your filters before you put them on. So Zoe helped me with that. So she got to have a little lesson in priming filters to go on the water filter today. Now these two white ones that I am attaching in addition to our big black ones that filter almost everything, these are extras that, we pay extra money for them. Yes, we do. But in the grand scheme of things, when they last a year or so, it doesn't seem that expensive. But these two white ones are particular for arsenic and fluoride. Those are two of the things that do not get filtered out of the water with the big black filters that are on the inside. And arsenic, I'm sure everybody understands, you don't want that in your water. But why wouldn't I want fluoride in there? Well, to be absolutely honest, the evidence out there of whether fluoride really stops tooth decay or not is kind of but the evidence that fluoride in the kind of fluoride that they use in our municipal water is like an industrial chemical that's a neurotoxin. You know what? If I can take it out of my water, why not? I'm going to do it. If I want fluoride, I'm going to put it on my toothbrush and brush my teeth with it and spit it out. I don't have to drink it. So there's my soapbox for the day. So that's what those two fancy white filters are for. The entire business goes together like this. We'll be filling the entire top with water. We're going to let it run through a good time or two to make sure we've got all of any kind of dust or anything that was in those filters out. And then we just start filtering water as usual. And so we've always got a 1.5 gallons, I think that's what that holds, of filtered, very tasty, delicious, healthy water. Because during these times when there are viruses going around that none of us want to catch, one of the best things you can do for your body is fill it full of good, high-quality water. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. So here's to hydration. Here's to us self-sustaining homesteaders and our water filters. So hope you guys are drinking lots of water today, taking care of yourself, and Laugh Pig will check in with you again soon. Peace out, people.